Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Two Idiots Doing a Podcast, officially at episode 10 in double digits. Joined here by my co host, Daniel. And for those that are first joining in, this is your first episode, just trying to test our sport knowledge, discuss the things that are going around, particularly in NHL, MLB, college sports like basketball and football and a couple other various sports too. When something drastic happens, like trading Luka Doncic for an old bag of Doritos. And per usual, we are on a quest to prove we should be on ESPN and not Stephen A. or Nick Wright. I know Nick Wright's not on ESPN, but Nick Wright is a certified bum.
Even at this point, Shannon Sharp, he made his
Oh
way
my
over.
gosh, bro! Don't even get. I used to watch Shannon, and his glazing gotten so bad. He is a certified LeBron glazer. It's so bad. But even a lot of his takes lately have been crazy. But besides the point, that's kind of the gist of what we do. So got a few things to talk about. A lot in NHL, college baseball. I finally talk about my experience with ASU and Illinois. Couple things in college basketball that went down, and so a little bit of spring training, and maybe some fantasy baseball discussion. But I'm going to start off with my topic before we get into our icebreaker, a little backwards, but we're going to test Daniel's knowledge, true, false, so y'all can join along. Blake might be the only other person that might know this, but so we're going to go. The topic is no hitters and the Chicago Cubs. So
Oh
there
gosh,
was once a time that the Cubs not only were trash at winning, they couldn't win a World Series, couldn't even make it to one, but they couldn't even throw no hitters. They went on a nice little drought of roughly 40 years. 1972, Milt Pappas threw one, ironically close to my last name. And then the Cubs didn't throw another one for another 36 years,
that's wild.
which Carlos Zambrano did it against Houston in Houston. True or false? Was it Carlos Zambrano, and was it in Houston?
I want to say it's Carlos Sobrano just because I want to say it because that dude was wild. The
He
the
was based.
old
I love
day
that man.
Trevor Bauer.
He really was.
Man, I do not remember any of this. We're gonna say true.
So technically, it was a two-parter. I should have clarified that's on
Gotcha.
me. So it's true for Carlos Zambrano, but it's false, but not for what you think it's false. This is mean. He threw a new header against Houston. It was a road game for the Cubs in Milwaukee. That was mean.
That's
So,
wild.
so the reason that happened, Blake, you might know this, is around the time there was a hurricane. I don't know if it's Irma there was a hurricane in '08 that hit Houston that prevented the Astros from playing around that time. So Milwaukee wasn't playing. They travel up to Milwaukee, and Carlos Zambrano casually just throws a no-hitter on a neutral site field, which at that time might as well have been a Cubs home field, because around that time, Cubs fans did the one thing they did really well was they traveled very well, and especially since it was only 2 hours away. So it was technically really a home game for him, but this was the other one was I forgot was yeah, I think I'll just stick with that one for now. The other one was going to be something along the lines of the Cubs have been, I got it now. The only other one, true or false, the Cubs have been no hit more times at Wrigley in our lifetime than they've thrown no hitters at Wrigley specifically.
Like they've
So do you think the Cubs have been no hit at Wrigley more times than they've thrown a no hitter at Wrigley?
I don't think they've thrown many, if any. I'm gonna say they have been no hit more at Wrigley.
I am looking. I just gotta double check. One, two. So this. Okay, hang on. So they threw one in 2024.
Who threw it?
That was Shota Imanaga.
Yeah, Imanaga.
That was the Imanaga one. And then they were no hit by Shoot, I thought they were no hit at Wrigley. This is kind of awkward. I swear some. Oh, I'm looking. You know what? It was. They've been no hit once. Around 2015, Cole Hamels did it, and then Imanaga. So it was even. But yeah, so
Interesting.
yeah, so before that time, it's kind of wild that it took the Cubs all that long to throw a no-hitter at Wrigley. 2024 from 1972 to 2024. It's a freaking long time. They had thrown a couple
Crazy.
in between there. Jake Arrieta having two, and then Zach Davies or Alec Mills. It was Alec Mills. Oh, both. But
Regardless,
yeah.
both of those are like the most crazy, wild. Never would have.
Insane.
If you
Never
would have
guessed.
given me like 100 guesses on Cubs pitchers to throw one, neither of them probably would have come to my mind.
No, for sure. But the Cubs have thrown more no-hitters in our lifetime at Milwaukee than they have at home, which is really funny.
That's actually
But
crazy.
the same amount against the Brewers. Really crazy.
I guess the Cubs own the Brewers.
Certified, darn right. Can't say that because they one ring in 108 years. You can't really say you own anybody. But
That's fair.
man, but so that was my true false. Totally my fault for that was kind of sloppy. But in my defense, people, I did just finish a 5-hour drive. I will discuss later. Did go to the Blue Jackets Red Wings outdoor game, but that will not be discussed in this episode. We will wait until Blake joins us. But now is where the real stuff begins. Our icebreaker, which is we're gonna do a couple immaculate grids. Daniel and I are gonna test our ball knowledge, and I'm really scared because this could be either really good or really bad. So, what? First things first, I'll ask Daniel what grid number we'll select, and then from there we will do that grid. So, what grid number do you want to go with?
What number are we at currently?
We're at 700.
Okay, so anything below 700. Let's do
Or 700.
651.
651. Please be a good one. Man, it just depends on the team. If the Cubs, Rangers are in there,
Oof.
this is gonna be bad. I
Oh.
don't know Padres, bro. Okay, I mean, like, I know Robinson is. Oh, wait, no, that's Hall of Famer down this way. Really quickly, for those that don't know Immaculate Grid, amongst the fact that you're probably also listening to this, basically, it's a 3x3 grid, and you have teams in rows and in columns, and you have to try to name a player that played for those two teams. So in one row are the Athletics, and in the first column are the Padres. So you have to try to name a guy that's played for both. And then they'll also have like various categories depending on the sport. So for this one, the third row is Hall of Fame, and then 2,000 hits in career is the last column. So we have to try to name a player that's been to the Hall of Fame and has had over 2,000 hits. Pete Rose.
I mean,
No.
we can put Adrian Beltre there.
Okay, girl
He had-
Beltre.
He had 3,000 hits.
We'll go Adrian Beltre. We'll start off
I
easy.
feel like-
And 1%.
Wow.
1%.
I knew
We'll
he'd be
just-
lower, but I didn't realize that low.
It was so bad. I just don't know Padres,
I
man.
feel like a very obvious one for the Orioles in 2,000 hits is Cal Ripken, but I feel like we shouldn't do that since it's so obvious.
I know. I was debating Robinson too. But I just don't know Baltimore, man.
I also don't know if they. Excuse
Now,
me,
I guess
if I'm-
we always have to look to see if it says they had 2,000 hits with that team or they had 2,000 hits, period. Because that could
I
change
think-
things.
Yeah, I think
Because
it's just.
Sammy Sosa for Baltimore. If I like
I think it's if they played for the Orioles in their career.
it's one game. The condition is they only played for one game. I'm almost positive. Sammy Sosa had to have had 2,000 hits. There's no way he didn't.
Do it. It's worth a shot.
Yeah, baby. Sammy Sosa and As we all know,
is
Baltimore
crazy.
Oriole legend.
That is wild.
That one's crazy. Okay,
I
can
feel
we
like the
get
really
athletics
hard
off?
one is going to be the A's having a 2,000 career
A's
hit.
Padres is scaring me, dude. It's scaring me. Um, A's and 2000 career hits.
Once again, this could be he randomly played for the A's.
McGuire is an obvious one. Matt
Yeah.
Holliday. I don't know if Matt Holliday got to he had to have.
I'm pretty sure he did. For the amount of career that he had and just
We could go.
how
I'd say
good
we
he
go
was.
Matt Holliday here. And I think his name was spelled. No,
I think
is it?
HOL.
And it's a 0.8%. Look at us. So
Nice.
at least we got. So we're 3 for 3. Now what? We did not name the rest of the teams. Well, actually, really, it's just one other team we hadn't named, but we have the Pirates in one of our columns. So that kind of scares me. One name I want to drop, but I don't know if he played for Baltimore. Was Nate McLeod. He was a center fielder that I played with.
That name doesn't even.
I know.
ring
For
a
no
bell.
dumb reason, Blake and I would play with him a ton, and the Bigs too. I think that was the game, and that name just
Okay.
I know he played for Pittsburgh. I don't know if he played for Baltimore.
Did Jurickson Profar play for the A's?
Yeah, we could do a Profar.
I was gonna say, I
Alright.
know for sure Profar.
5%. That's actually not bad. I thought that was going to be a little bit higher, but that we kept it low there. Ace Pirates.
A's Pirates is gonna be wild.
That one's crazy. That one's brutal. I wish Chapman. Well, can we do a Hall of Famer for the Pirates? I feel like the only one I know though is what's his face in the set. Wait, did Jason Kendall play for the Athletics?
I don't.
There's a couple names I know from Pittsburgh, just because they played them a lot back in the early 2000s, and so like I remember names from the Pirates for some dumb reason. Ramos Ramirez. Ramos Ramirez is not in the Hall of Fame. I
mean, I know for the Padres, did Hoffman make the Hall of Fame? He had to.
I think he had. We could do it, and if it's wrong,
I mean, you could also do Tony Gwynn, but Tony Gwynn, I mean, it's gonna.
I'll do Hoffman. Okay, that one hurt a little bit, but it's still only 13%.
Not bad. The Orioles Padre one is
Orioles Padres is.
no.
I have no idea. Genuinely have no idea.
I'm trying to like think through their current roster, and think if any of them currently have played for the Orioles, but I don't think so.
I'm gonna try Jason Kendall for Pirates A's, and if it's wrong,
the fact that the Pirates column is blank is showing nice.
16% though, tough. But I know ball, chat. Let's go, Jason Kendall.
I mean, obviously for Pittsburgh Pirates, Roberto Clemente has to be.
That's the only Hall of Famer I know.
But like, I can't think of another Hall of Famer.
Now, if they had to be in the Hall of Fame for that team,
I don't think so. Because
when that paired with the team, the player must have played a major league game for them in question.
Okay.
So it has to be a Hall of Famer that's played for the Pirates. And my issue,
I don't know Hall of Famers.
I don't know Hall of Famers that went to Pittsburgh. I just don't know.
Yeah, Roberto Clemente is literally the only one that's coming to my brain.
This is gonna hurt, but we just gotta do Clemente.
Yeah. Hopefully, our next Immaculate Grid, we have
A little
at least
bit.
one
I mean,
team.
we're still doing pretty good. I think this is where we're gonna fall apart, though. These next two. Roberto Clemente is gonna be 38%,
Okay,
which
not bad.
honestly is lower than I was expecting.
I was expecting over 50%.
I thought it was gonna be like 75. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna try Nate McLeod for Pirates or Orioles. I want this to happen so bad. please.
Nice.
I don't fall! 5%'s insane, though. I'm a little surprised it's 5%. I was really hoping that was a 0.1%. So I'm a little disappointed that's 5%. But I'll take that. I'll take that. We got 8 out of 9 on this grid. And we got one more loading here in a minute. This I have no idea. I don't know anything about the Padres.
I know things about the Padres. I just don't know things about the Orioles.
I don't really know Baltimore either, to be fair. Sorry, Baltimore fans. Wait, Edwin Jackson. Did Edwin Jackson... I gotta go for it. I think Edwin Jackson got passed around like crazy. I'm gonna try it.
Fair. I mean, I've got nothing.
Bang!
Yeah,
Bang!
Hey,
Go!
our rarity score is 81%. Like, that's
81.
pretty solid.
That's pretty freaking good. That's pretty good.
What did...
Really quickly, looking at Hall of Fame options. I won't look at the other ones, but I'm just curious. Who was, like, the most notable name here? Jake Beckley is the highest? I don't know if that's the highest or what. Joe Kelly. There's a Hall of Famer named Joe Kelly. That's really funny. Lock that in. Ralph Kiner. Okay, that could have taken away some. Willie Stargell. That could be taken away some.
I forgot about Stargell.
Honus Wagner. Oh my gosh. How can I disrespect my boy Honus Wagner? Deacon White. Honus might be number one. I don't know if what it's showing is just... if it's alphabetical or if it's like the highest to lowest. Honus Wagner, though. Dang it, man. But, yeah. So, looking at this chart, the least known is Baltimore, Pittsburgh.
Rightfully so. For the longest time, they weren't any good.
Shout out to my Nate McLeod poll. Let's go. All right, Daniel. I kind of carried there, so you gotta...
Yikes.
I'll be honest. Edwin Jackson was because Cubs, and I know he was a bum. And then McLeod was just because he got a video game. So we'll do one more. You got that took up a little bit of time, but we need a little bit of time killed. So, what number do you want to do next here? Give us Rangers, please.
6-12.
We're going 6-12. I'm scared, but that was a pretty good first grid. So 9 for 9. All right, 6-12. Okay.
Not horrible.
Only one team, though, is kind of scary. George Brett was the only one team?
I think so. You can also put Salvador Perez.
Alex Gordon, maybe?
I think he went somewhere else for a brief time.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy. This would be a little out of pocket, but who was the guy that died for Kansas City?
Ventura. Robin. Nope, not Robin. What's his first name?
He definitely stayed there, didn't he not?
I'm pretty sure he didn't go anywhere.
Yordano Ventura.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Based out of my mind, I apologize to the Ventura family, but for the sake of the Immaculate Grid, we had to lock it in. Okay, so Mets one team. I know who's not Mets one team is Johan Santana. I don't know why that name came to mind. He's not even known as a Met, but David Wright, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's also a couple current players that have only been on it.
That's a good point. We could do current.
You could do like Brett Beatty. You could do
McNeil.
Jeff McNeil.
We could do McNeil.
You could do Pete Alonso. Who's there?
Alonso would be a little high.
Vientos. Because Francisco Alvarez, their catcher.
Vientos?
Yeah.
I say we lock in Mark Vientos.
Okay, yeah. No, I don't think he's played anywhere else. Yeah.
4%. Okay. I figured of all the names we listed, McNeil would probably be higher. Alonso would definitely be higher. Yeah. So that's a good point. I didn't think about doing guys current.
I mean,
But
for
obviously,
Washington, we could do Dylan Cruz.
Strasburg maybe. Strasburg would
Yeah, I
probably
think.
be a decently high. Ryan Zimmerman, did he
Oh,
stay?
I think so.
Pretty sure Zimmerman stayed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he retired his last year before his contract.
Um, I'm a little worried Zimmerman might be high though. A little worried. I'm not. Did
Yeah,
Robles leave?
yep. Robles is, I think, with Seattle
That's what I
now.
thought.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Um,
I'm trying to think of like their young guys. C.J. Abrams was a Padre.
crap. Yeah, a lot of the guys they've acquired.
Yeah,
We could go Zimmerman. I feel like it's gonna be really high,
yeah.
but like,
Or you could do Dylan Cruz.
oh, okay.
Just because he's a prospect, he may not be as. It's Crews. Yeah, because he's a recently young guy.
6%. Okay, not doing bad. We got okay. So for the graph at this point, I just realized I didn't name these, but and the columns are the Phillies and the Cardinals, and then the rows are Nationals, Mets, and Royals. So we have to name a Philly and National, which Philly Mets and Philly Royal.
Philly and Royal can be Michael Lorenzen.
That's pretty good.
Because didn't Lorenzen? Yeah, he played a couple years ago in the playoffs with them.
2%. Nice job. Paula Duca, I think it was Nationals Mets though. I'm dropping names that I haven't played in years. I know ball chat. At least 2000s.
Piazza didn't play for the Phillies. He
No.
played for the A's, but he didn't play for the Phillies.
Um,
I feel like Mets Phillies is a pretty common occurrence.
which is wild to think about.
Yeah,
You wouldn't think, but
you trade inside your division, but for some reason, I can't think of anyone, but I feel like it's happened a good amount.
Cardinals Royals is kind of bothering me. I feel like I have a name at the tip of my tongue, but did Sonny Gray play for Nationals? Don't think so. No,
No,
and he's still a Cardinal anyway.
yeah, I can't think for this. This is. I thought I didn't know the last one. I have no clue about anything for the Nationals except that the Rangers ditched them, become their own franchise.
Yeah, I kind of just know like either legendary Expo players or Paula Duca apparently.
Mets St. Louis.
Beltron.
Ooh, yeah.
Beltron's gonna be high, but
I don't
so
know.
I'm trying to think of like a reliever or a start. Oh, no, Severino never played for him. There was definitely a start. The Cardinals had a starter that was a Met. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to help. He was like from like a few years ago. Crap. Wait, did Matt Harvey play for any of these teams?
Ooh, Harrison Bader
Oh, Harrison Bader.
for the Mets
Mets Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Let's do Bader. I like that better.
Ooh,
I'm gonna
that's
find
high.
that picture at the end. It's gonna drive me crazy. But he would have been lower than this, but that's okay. Um, Matt Harvey never played for the Phillies. I know that for sure.
No.
Syndergaard? No.
Yeah, he played.
Syndergaard was Phillies?
I'm pretty sure he played for the Phillies. Now
I knew he was Angels.
I know he played for the Rangers.
Noah Syndergaard played for the Rangers?
Yeah, for he was at
What?
least in our minor system. I can't remember if he actually played a game.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm a little nervous about taking Phillies. I'm not gonna lie, but
Okay.
if we go on a few more minutes without
but
having something, we'll
I was gonna
put
say
'em.
maybe if we think of something else, we can go with it, but
That's Phillies. I can't, like, I don't know why, like, guys that played there for one team are coming to my mind. Like Jimmy Rollins. Unless if he went somewhere else. But
no. Didn't he play for the White Sox for a second?
I don't remember. It would be a White Sox thing to do. He probably would have been washed and they gave him $5 and a Diet Coke.
I think he played like literally like a year before he retired.
Yeah.
Like he played for the White Sox, came back to the Phillies, and retired as Philly. But don't quote me.
Royals Cardinals is gonna bother me. I feel like I should know Royals Cardinals. Matt Stayer. There was Matt Adams. Joe Kelly ever play for either of those teams?
No.
No. Wow, my brother's gonna be embarrassed.
I'm also trying to think Jesse Chavez, because that dude has traveled the world. But I don't think he's...
Rich Hill. Rich Hill's traveled everywhere, but I don't think Rich Hill's, like, ironically played for any of these.
No, I don't think he has either.
Which is why, to be fair, he has 4 stints in Boston. Ridiculous. Dang it, Rich Hill!
Goodness gracious.
What about Ozuna? No. Matt Halliday? No. Scott Rowland? If the Reds were on air, it'd be Scott Rowland. Freaking crap, man. How can I not get Cardinals?
Yeah, I don't know. David Freese was a guy that ended his
Angels though.
Going other places. Yeah.
He might have gone elsewhere, but I thought he retired with the Angels.
No, I think you're right. Pujols also was just... Goldschmidt was Diamondback, and now Yankee. Wainwright only was St. Louis.
Yeah, Wayno was only there. Chris Carpenter, I think, was only St. Louis.
Lance Lynn, but he didn't play for...
Lance Lynn was White Sox.
Or
and
National.
Somewhere else.
He was with the Rangers.
Jason Isringhausen? I know Isringhausen was Oakland, too, but I don't know about Kansas City. I'm pretty sure he didn't play for Washington. There was that Japanese guy that they had in the mid-2000s. Yeah, again, you probably wouldn't know that. You were probably focused Rangers. Or you weren't watching NL Central Ball.
No, not at all.
Crap! I can't believe that. Like, I think it's just a combination of Cardinals. I don't know. That's my issue. And I just don't know Nationals. So they're just...
Yeah, no, I have no clue about anything.
I mean, Bryce Harper is Nationals Phillies. I think we just got I hate to say it. We got to lock in Bryce Harper. We got to move.
We got to.
Yeah, so we got to lock in Bryce Harper. Unless if wait, Doolittle. Did Doolittle play for the Phillies?
I think he did.
I'm going to risk it.
Honestly, at this point, we already know that Harper is going to be like a 7.
Yeah, so this is where, chat. I don't think he did. I'm going to try it, though.
Nope. Dang it.
All right, well, crap. We got one wrong, but we did technically say Harper first. So we're just going to lock that one out at this point. So we'll just do it that way. So we'll just say that one's wrong. Freaking crap. I'll try Syndergaard. Wow.
Yeah, I think it was like...
My bad. I apologize. I was not familiar with your game. I do not remember him as a Philly at all.
I literally think it was half a year. I don't think it was like a full year. I do not
remember that. Nationals, Cardinals. My goodness. Doolittle. I'm just kidding. Royals, Cardinals. Freaking A.
Like, I don't even know current roster for St. Louis.
I sort of do. Did DeYoung play for...
Do you remember the Ranger Wes Benjamin? He was absolutely horrible.
No.
He was a left-hander, went and played in Korea, and is back.
I don't, but that's crazy.
I can't remember if he played for Kansas City. I know he you also remember King. I can't think of his first name. He was also another lefty. He's, I think, currently with St. Louis. He was another Ranger, but I don't think he played for the Royals either.
Yeah, it's not ringing a bell. Speaking of Bell, did David Bell play for any of these guys? I don't
Did
really
Josh
know.
Bell?
Josh Bell, man, if
Because I know he's played for the Nationals.
Nationals, yeah. Josh Bell, I don't think played for the Cardinals though, unfortunately. Cardinals is gonna make me so mad. Cardinals Royals is gonna make me so mad.
Yeah,
I
I can't think of Cardinals Royals one. Did
I'm a
Michael, the outfielder Michael Taylor? Did he ever play for St.
I
Louis?
know that name. I don't think he did.
Because he's traveled a lot too. Michael A.
I don't think he's
Taylor.
played for St. Louis.
Dang it.
I'm gonna try Matt Stairs. I don't think he played for the Cardinals. I know he played for the Royals. Dang it. We're up to 30 minutes, so I had to try something. I'm mad at myself. I thought this was gonna be easy. We thought we were gonna get kicked in the first one, and we killed it. And now here we are: Cardinals, Nationals, Cardinals, Royals. I just don't know Royals and Nationals. I feel like if I got Cardinals, Phillies, would have been a lot easier.
Yeah.
This is a tough matchup. I want to try to lock in something here. I'll count if we get 6 out of 9. I'm gonna say 6.5. We got Harper. Harper was, albeit it took us way too long to name it.
Yeah.
But
Some odd reason Harper didn't come to our brain.
that's so funny. Irvin Santana,
Where is Lance Thomas current? Nope, he's Cleveland. Nope. Not
Yadier Molina.
right team.
No. Man, it's got to be a pitcher. I just can't think of it. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna concede here. I got nothing.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. Obviously, it's going to be a pitcher of some sort, but
I need to look at these. Rarity score's not great.
Larry Walker,
Larry Walker, that's so embarrassing.
Carlos Beltran. I did not.
I even said Carlos Beltran. I forgot he played for the Royals, bro.
I didn't think he played for the Royals. I forgot.
I know he did. He started with the Royals.
That's wild.
I just didn't. My gosh. I think he was on Kansas City in backyard baseball, dude.
That's crazy.
Oh,
That's
that makes me
wild.
so angry. That's so upsetting.
I didn't realize that guy was well traveled.
Well, if there's time at the end, I kind of want to redeem ourselves.
Regardless,
But
we're gonna make time at the end.
We're gonna make time for more, but I do kind
We're
of
100% not leaving on that one.
yeah, for sure. But we'll jump into some other stuff here first, and I'll see if we'll have time at the end to do one more. So we're gonna move over to NHL real quick. Four Nations tournament. I mean, it's kind of settled in now. What are your thoughts on the tournament as a whole? Obviously, we lost to Canada, and not in overtime. Yeah, it was in overtime.
Yeah.
Connor McDavid sniping one in the slot, left wide open. Unbelievable. But what are your thoughts on the tournament? Do you think this is going to be a successful ongoing thing? Do you think they'll expand to other countries? Did you enjoy it? Just general thoughts.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed the Four Nations tournament. I know a lot of people are saying this, but I think the other sports have to get on some sort of change for their All-Star game, because NHL knocked it out of the ballpark with this one. And I mean, it shows when the NBA All-Star is going on also, and there's 10 million people watching US and Canada play. They would rather watch Canada US than
Playing their own.
a 3-on-3 game over in the All-Star NBA that they don't really even play in. So, it was a lot of fun to watch. Sucks that US lost. Bennington decided to turn it on in overtime, which is, I think, the most frustrating part, because that game should have ended 4 or 5 times before McDavid was wide open, but Bennington decided to, be Bennington in overtime. But no, it was a lot of fun to watch. I enjoyed every bit of it. I watched Sweden Finland. I watched teams that I probably normally wouldn't watch and got to see players that I probably wouldn't have normally watched. And it was honestly a lot of fun and there was a chance for the NHL to showcase their league and put some of their best players on the ice playing against each other. I also think it was really good that a lot of these teams were relatively evenly matched. Like Sweden took Canada to overtime. Finland was in for 40 minutes against USA. Finland was in it against Canada, almost came back on Canada. Sweden beat US also. So like honestly, I felt like this was a very well put together, even if it was like last minute put together. But yeah, no, I think it'd be hard to add teams, but putting it on like a rotation, I feel like could be fun. So like it's a 6-team rotation, and each team rotates in and out, which I feel like could be fun because you'll get to see. I mean, the Czech could possibly be a team that comes in.
Russia.
You can, I wouldn't put it under the Russian name, but like have Russian players play.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think there's a lot of chance. There's a big chance to increase this and honestly showcase the NHL and the best talent.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job of finally finding a way to market their sport. Clearly embarrassing the NFL. I mean, the NFL was a little bit earlier with their Mickey Mouse Clubhouse flag football game and trivia. Ridiculous that they had something that idiotic. And then the NBA, you know, as fun as it was for me with Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama trying to exploit the skill competition, it also did embarrass the sport heavily.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they blew it out of the water. They really finally figured out, wow, a tournament that's not, you know, prevalent to your sport, but players care about it. And I think that's clearly going to play a big factor down the road for the NHL. And you know, hopefully they can allow in other teams, because obviously it'd been cool to see Ovi do something like this. So yeah, I think they knocked it out of the park. Really, yeah, NFL, NBA figure things out. MLB, you got it on lock for the most part. Guys still relatively put an effort in theirs, and the home run derby is still a lot of fun to watch. Just get a better singer next time. My goodness. Speaking of her, she was on, I sent you that reel, but she was on recently at another sporting event, and I'm just convinced she's a bad singer. I think she's a bad singer. I forgot her name. But for those that don't know who I'm talking about really quick, it was the drunk girl that sung at the Rangers All-Star game in 2024. So she sang recently at a basketball or hockey game.
It was, I think, the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. So, but overall, I mean, I think it was great. Congrats, Canada. I mean, you're big brother when it comes to hockey, but you're still the 51st state in pretty much everything else. So,
I don't know, maybe 50.
I'm kidding, but don't get heated over that. But yeah, congrats to them, and hopefully US can figure out eventually. But it was competitive.
We'll get them when it matters.
I hope so.
Actually, we won't
You're
face
a lot more confident than I am.
We won't face them in the Olympics. They'll get beat by Latvia again.
That'd be amazing. But all right, next two things for hockey. For those, big Blackhawks man here. I know I'm wearing a Stars hat, but I just gotta flex it because I went to a Stars game recently. Seth Jones, the bane of my existence. Just hated this man with every bone in my body. For those that don't know, bro got traded last night. I was in line to go to the restroom, which, by the way, was like a quarter mile. I know I said I wouldn't talk about this game, but I have to emphasize this. It was the end of the second period. I'm in line to go to the bathroom. My friend texts me, "Hey, where'd you go?" I was like, I went to the restroom. And bro says, "Jones traded to Florida." I booked it back. I said, I don't need to go to the restroom. I was going nuts, and people were looking at me. Seth Jones got traded, and then my friend, somebody asked, I was like, Blackhawks fan? I was like, yeah. So, and that's kind of based because for those that don't know, this game was at Columbus, and Seth Jones did play there for a number of years, and did find relative success there, at least comparative. Certainly a lot better in Columbus than he was in Chicago. But needless to say, I'm thrilled. Seth, good luck, I guess. I do hope you do find success in Florida. Even though I hate you, I don't want you to fail elsewhere. I'm not going to be that guy. So even though I hated you in Chicago, I can't blame you for taking that contract. Any sane person would have, getting paid that much more than you thought you were worth would have taken it. So I can't completely fault you. So hopefully for Florida, he'll turn things around. But getting into the trade details, Seth Jones goes to Florida, and Chicago also retains 25% of his contract, so paying about roughly $2 to $2.5 million a year. So Florida's only having to pay about $7 million for the next 5-ish years. And in return, and they also get a 4th-round pick. And in exchange, the Blackhawks get a conditional 1st-round pick. So it is the 2026. Unless if Florida trades that pick away, then it'll be the 2027. So Florida can trade away their 2026 1st-round pick if they desire, knowing that if they do 2027, they cannot. That will be owned by Chicago. So we will see what happens with that. I imagine they'll use it. I imagine they're going to be contenders next year. So I would like to think that they're probably going to package that to improve their defense again, depending on if Ekblad leaves them. So overall, and the Blackhawks got Spencer Knight. So A+ for the Chicago, F- for Florida. Totally reasonable analysis. Overall, though, and actually, I mean, I will give the Blackhawks an A. I mean, Kyle Davidson needs a statue next to Michael Jordan immediately. I apologize, Kyle. I was not familiar with your game. I slandered you for certain things and wasn't looking for you to get fired yet. But obviously the season was pretty disappointed. But, bro, you got your statue. You got rid of Seth Jones and you got picks back and did not have to retain half the contract. That's what I was scared of. I thought to retain this at first, it was going to have to be at least 35%. We were going to have to give up a pick if we were going to do it this deadline. I didn't think we would get anything in return. So the fact you get a first, even if it's conditional and down the road, which is probably better anyway, since Florida's contenders now, and the draft pick, supposedly according to Blake, the draft is going to be better in 2026, which is the Gavin McKenna draft. So if they don't trade it away, that'd be great. And hopefully they stink. We'll see. They get a goaltender prospect in Spencer Knight. Fantastic. Makes Peter Mrazek, in my opinion, expendable now that we have Soderblom, who his first year was an absolute train wreck and truly had the character development of a lifetime, going from a 0 to a hero for Chicago goaltending. So you have him, you got Spencer Knight, and we got a prospect in the system, Drew Commesso, who's gotten called up a couple times this year. So that looks good, but when Seth Jones is turning it over and potentially shooting it right at you, yeah, no duh, you don't look good. So, sorry, Seth, but as you know, I'm not a fan, to say the least. So, and then just got to note really quickly, since that trade happened, the Blackhawks are 1-0. Coincidence? I think not. So we are undefeated in the Seth Jones era, post Seth Jones era. So
Nice.
do you have any quick thoughts before I get into who's hot, who's not, and OV alert?
Yeah, no, I think it's honestly for the Blackhawks, it's a good trade. You get rid of, honestly, a very expendable guy that's holding a lot of cap space. So now that you're only retaining 25% of it, and only paying 2.5, I mean, that opens your cap space for this upcoming offseason, so you can add a couple of guys. I mean, right now, Mikko Rantanen still doesn't have a deal, so, you could go in on him.
We do own half his contract.
I feel like it's a good trade. The Panthers, I feel like, need defense and also
right-handed specifically.
Yeah,
Forgot to mention that.
Yeah, and they want an offensive defenseman also. They want a guy that can score a little bit, and so I think Seth Jones fits their mold. Whether he does good or not in Florida doesn't matter. Florida got what they wanted, so I mean, I think both sides will say. I mean, I think the Blackhawks least the Panthers.
100%.
Getting a first-round pick out of that, I was like, no, there's no.
I know, and their goalie prospect, man.
I was like, there's no way they got this, and then I actually looked it up, and I was like, oh no, they did. But yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
the Blackhawks did it. Good luck, Florida. Hopefully it turns out well.
If they win a cup, I'll give it to them. If they win a cup, good
Yeah,
for them. And
yeah,
you could argue that they won it. So, and they're obviously looking to defend it. My one last note is that Florida fans are noting that he no longer has to be the guy to eat all the minutes. I want to point out, Aaron Ekblad's contract expires at the end of the year. You have Seth Jones for 5 more years. Ekblad leaves. Guess who has to be the guy?
yep, yep.
Seth Jones. So Florida, be warned. He doesn't have to be the guy right now, but he might have to be next year. And if he's your guy, let me tell you, you're in for one heck of a bumpy ride. Albeit you're only paying $7 million and the cap space will go up, so the value of what you're getting out of him won't hurt as much, you know? Because I feel like if he was getting paid half of what he was getting, I wouldn't like Seth Jones defensively, but I would not rant about the man every single night. So, just friendly reminder, overall, he's still getting paid more than Cale Makar. So, just want to throw that out there, people. Unbelievable. But, all right, really quickly, we're going to a couple teams who's hot, who's not. I had a couple teams, and then you had one or two. So, the teams I'm going to go over really quick. Tampa Bay, unbelievable run they're on right now. Just beat the Capitals last night. Big win, but they won 8 in a row now, and now they're throwing themselves in the opportunity to win the division. They were looking pretty sluggish to start the year and kind of starting to get to the point where their championship window closed, and they hit another gear these last few games. And really, the start of the year have really kind of been clicking, but Kucherov, Getzel, Vazzy, just doing their thing, and Tampa Bay's hot at the right time, and now going from potentially maybe conservative sellers to, I imagine, conservative buyers. So putting a lot of pressure on Florida and Toronto to get that top spot and face whoever in the world comes out of the gauntlet of that second wildcard spot, because your guess is good as mine. So that was one of them. And then, ironically, that whole top of the division is doing pretty well. Panthers have won 3 in a row, despite losing Matthew Tkachuk. So they haven't skipped a beat. Get ready to learn Seth Jones' buddy. That's going to end real quick. Toronto's won 5 in a row. Toronto's sitting at the right time. Getting hot just to lose another first rounder, albeit if they won the division. There's no way they lose in the first round. They may lose, unless if it's Boston. Boston is...
I feel like we've said this the past couple years, and they have not ever won 4 games. And since like for a long time, and it's crazy to think about. But
technically, they did 2 years ago.
That's fair.
They beat Tampa, but they have not won a game in over 20 years. No, they won 1 game against Florida. I'm sorry. They won 1 game against Florida in round 2 when they lost to the Panthers 2 years ago. But I think the stat was they had never won 3 playoff rounds ever as a franchise. I think it was something
Crazy.
like... I have to look it up and bring it back up next week, because that doesn't sound fully right, but it was something utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, literally all their championships have come off of, like, playoff brackets that are, like, only 2 rounds, or it was, like, a best of something series. It was something along those lines, so I'll have to look that up, though. So, if one of y'all know ball, or puck, whatever you want to call it, if one of y'all want to correct me, by all means. But, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, though.
No, you're fine.
Okay. So that was the other team that was hot, is Toronto, but I'm not going to take them seriously until they prove to us we need to take them seriously. Who's not? The Senators' collapse needs to be studied. Not really, though, because they're a Canadian hockey team. So, but in all actuality, they're just not scoring goals and not getting cold at the wrong time, man. Now, the good news for them, the entire Eastern Conference is mid. So, despite losing 5 in a row, they're still contending for a wild card spot, but they got to win now. They got to figure out, get back on track, because if you lose a couple more, man, that could cost you a spot. Just those 2, like, that is valuable points right now. And if you're going to lose to Western Conference teams. Don't let anybody in the East right now get a point. Yeah, just nobody, unless if it's maybe like teams that are locked in. And even then, I think there's really only two of them, maybe three. So, and then the other team I had was Washington. Has lost three in a row. Not any concern. Ovi's doing his thing, and they have the second most points in the league. So it would take a monumental collapse for them to miss the playoffs, which theoretically is possible, but they would have to lose, I think, probably 15 or 16 in a row, and Ovi's not going to let that happen. So, so they are a little cold, but they're also losing to tough teams too. So, no warning flags for them, but they are a little ice cold. So, who did you have? I already know, but
Yeah, so we've been clowning on Nashville since we started this. We're going to continue to clown on Nashville. Their woes continue. They are, I think, second. The last I looked, they were second to last in our division. The Blues are better than them, and the Blues are young. The only team worse than them is the Blackhawks.
it hurts.
But to make matters worse, Stamkos decided he wanted to score an own goal to help the Islanders yesterday, and after watching it, it was hilarious. No one even in the vicinity of where he was passing that puck, and we love goalie goals, and Sorokin got a goalie goal, which is even better. So, and the funny
Good for you,
thing is,
Sorokin.
Sorokin didn't even shoot it. It was a rebound that Stamkos got, and he passed, and he went straight into his net, which is hilarious. And it was from the offensive zone, and that makes it even funnier. So, Nashville be Nashvilleing, and they can't win.
Apparently, according to Blake, he told me the Blackhawks had done this a few years ago. I think Patrick Kane had done something very similar. I will find the clip. I don't remember us doing it. I remember somebody else doing it, but it may have been the Hawks. But until that time, get dunked on, Stamkos. You're a great guy, but you went to Nashville, so I'm gonna clown on you. Just like how I glazed Duchesne now. You know, he was in Colorado and Nashville, two teams I don't like, and now he's with Dallas. So I was like, oh, I've always loved Duchesne. So I was like, I used to love Stamkos, but you're in Nashville now, so get dunked on, buddy. Get ready to learn own goalies. I gotta stop doing that. But okay, but yeah, Nashville's cold, and definitely the L team of the year just as a whole. Talk about the fact that they don't have 50 points is insane.
Yeah, I mean,
it's insane.
They've started to sell some of their guys. I know Nyquist, which we can talk about him next week.
Yeah,
got traded away out to Minnesota. So
they're decent trade for Minnesota.
Yeah, they're starting to sell some of their guys.
Well, they're kind of screwed, too, because the Stamkos 3 more years. Marchessault contract's not looking great. Brady Shea, you got 6 more years. I haven't noted how well Shea is doing for him, granted. But poor Soros, man. He thought he finally got help, and it got way worse. I feel bad for that dude. But, yeah, that's enough clowning on Nashville for right now, though. Last thing, Ovi alert is 11 goals away from breaking the record. I'm just calling him now the greatest goal scorer of all time. It's inevitable unless if something utterly catastrophic happens. He also, if he, you know, Blake and I were joking about this last night. He does seem like the kind of guy that if he only got 10 and didn't win the cup, he seems like the kind of guy he would retire one short. He's just like, nah, I'm good. I'll go to my horse. I'll go play with my horses with Jokic. He seems like that kind of guy.
Somewhere.
Or soccer, yeah. But I think the soccer thing was like, for me, was like the fact that he's doing soccer too for fun. Like, there's no way he would get this up. But all that to say, he will break the record this year. Almost certain at this point. He's got about 20-ish games. He needs 11. Who do you think he'll do it against? I will pull up the schedule, and I'll kind of start listing off teams. And I hate to say it, it's not looking good for Chicago. I'm really scared. Now, of course, you know, grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter that much. No, I just don't want to be the team known
for giving it up.
For giving up the all-time record. But, oh, gosh, why is I go to Yahoo one time and it changed my stupid search engine. Okay, Capitals schedule. That's why I was confused. Okay. So, they play, I'll list 10 games. The first 10 they won't do. So unless if he scores 5-5, I don't think he'll do something that insane. But he's got the Senators, Senators, Rangers, Red Wings, Kraken, Ducks, Kings, Sharks, Red Wings, Flyers, Panthers. So those are the 10. For all intents and purposes, let's just pretend he scores 1 in all of those. He's actually very capable of doing that.
Yeah.
So the games that are most likely, this is the latter half of his schedule. The games that'll probably happen, so then like next 3 I'll say are like probable but unlikely, are Jets, Wild, and Sabres. So it could happen in those, but what it really could come down to is these 4 or 5. Bruins, Hurricanes, Blackhawks, Islanders, Hurricanes. So he's got the Hurricanes twice, and then the last 4, if it takes that long, are the Jackets twice, Islanders again, and the Penguins to end the year in Pittsburgh. So of all of those, I know you're not looking at the schedule, do any of those who do you think he's going to do it against?
Honestly, it's a hard back half end of the year schedule. Let's just start with that for the Capitals.
Yeah, it is brutal.
But he doesn't play any. You can't. I mean, other than like the first 10, there's like no obvious defensive team that gives up a lot or would give up a lot of goals to him. I'm gonna say this just to be funny, but I think it also could happen. I'm gonna say the Bruins. I think it would be hilarious for him to do it against the Bruins, but I also think it's like genuinely possible for him to do it.
You read my mind. I was actually going to take the Bruins, in part because I don't want to be the Hawks, but I'm going to go a game earlier than you now. I'm going to go Sabres. Might be a little cutting it close picking those 2, but I did give us a 3-game cushion. So both those games are within realm of he should be able to do it around this time frame. So I'm going to go Sabres with knowing that there's a very good chance it's Chicago or Carolina. So I will jot these down and we'll come back to it and see when he
actually does it.
See if either one of us are right. So yeah, so I will write down Sabres, Nate, Bruins, Daniel, reality, Blackhawks. So, all right, we'll go quickly into some MLB stuff. We got the facial hair rule for the Yankees. I'm setting up a podcast fantasy baseball league that I think we'll have a lot of fun with. But we'll probably discuss some like the settings we should set up for that. And if we make it public or not. We'll probably make it public. I don't know yet. But it just depends how many people I can pull together. And then maybe 1 or 2 guys that are notable for the Rangers that are doing well or struggling. So I'll let you take care of that. But let's really quickly bring up the facial hair rule for the Yankees. It's finally gone. You were the one that brought it up, so tell the people what's going on.
It's about dang time. They finally got rid of their stupid facial hair rule where you can't have beards or anything. The only thing that you can have is a mustache. You have to be clean cut. All of that stuff. It never made sense to me to start. Don't understand why. I'm just happy it's gone. Honestly, they could have kept it and people would have not gone to them. I'm okay with that too. But just let people do what they want to do. It's not something that's affecting your team. It's not
literally
like they're coming in 50 pounds overweight. No, it's literally just a beard. That's all it is. So, thankfully, they finally get rid of it. Stupid. Should have honestly really never been a thing. But, Yankees gonna Yankee.
For real. I think it's traditions are weird, and baseball in particular is just very heavily relied on the whole, tradition is everything mentality over all the sports in particular. They are really like, this is the kind of the group of people who's like, if you mess with this in one bit, I hate you forever, and it's so stupid. And so this is just one of those things. The Yankees organization was like, we'll never change this because it's what we've been doing. But just because you do something doesn't mean it should be continued to be done. I get you. Maybe it's just for appearance. You want guys to look good. But I know plenty of people that can rock a beard, man. All right, so at the end of the day, just let them do what they want, except Anthony Davis, who has a horrible unibrow. So maybe you can do something like that and call the Mavs and tell them to shave that stupid thing. Or better yet, Yankees, I'll let you keep the rule if you get Luca back to Dallas. But yeah, overall, it was a dumb rule. It just like that was something that would kind of turn me off, like amongst many other things. It being New York for once, but I think it's just like that just rubs me off the wrong way. You know, it's one thing to tell me how to dress, fine, but what to have on my freaking face, unbelievable. Within reason, you know, there are certain stashes that maybe you shouldn't do. Won't go in that regard, but I'll just say it's the Charlie Chaplin stash. Maybe you shouldn't do that one, but overall, dumb rule. So, it really quickly will actually jump to the other thing we're going to talk about baseball, and then again, our fantasy baseball league. Who are you like one or two guys, notable spring training you've seen so far to the Rangers, good or bad?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be someone that I don't think you probably wouldn't even realize. Sebastian Walcott for the Rangers, our number one prospect, honestly has, I think, shined more than we thought he was going to shine. The dude, as of yesterday, was hitting, I think, 425 or something like that. Had a home run, had an RBI. Honestly, is looking good in spring training. Obviously, he's not going to break camp with the team, but the fact that I think he's ahead of schedule is a really good sign. The dude's only 18, and yeah, I mean, happy for him, excited for him. Fortunately, we don't have a spot for him, so he's going to have to learn a different
Position.
He's a shortstop, obviously.
Yeah.
Corey
That's
Seager's
locked up.
there, so he's going to have to learn a different position, outfield maybe. He's quick enough to do that, but also our outfield is pretty stacked. The disappointment, I wouldn't say he's a disappointment, but more of a guy that's struggling is Kumar Rocker. Had a really good end of the year. I mean, when he was pulled up with the Rangers. Unfortunately, I haven't actually been able to watch the games because they're not being broadcasted. It just sounds like he's struggling a little bit with his mechanics and location. His stuff is there, but it sounds like he's just not locating the best, and he's leaving it in the middle of the plate or over a good spot of the plate, and guys are just hitting them really well. He unfortunately has given up 7 runs in an inning and 2/3, which isn't great, but also once again, it's the start of spring training. He could turn it around, but it's just a rough start for him.
Yeah. Yeah, noted. Yeah, he had been struggling in particular, but hopefully he could turn it around. He's still got a little bit of time, and if he still needs more time to develop, then that's fine. But hopefully he'll figure it out in his next start. Just get that control down and get a little bit of confidence. So
I will say he has gone against two tougher lineups. He went up against the Royals in his first one, which they had Bobby Witt playing, they had Pasquantino playing, they had a bunch of their bigger guys playing, and then yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday they played the Brewers, and the Brewers had like Yelich playing, Contreras was playing, like another, like a Terang was playing, Mitchell was playing, like they had a bunch of their guys up and playing too, so it could have been a little bit of that. I think the Brewers are honestly a sleeper team that could do really well this year, but I think overall, I think he'll be fine. It's just he's got to figure a little bit out.
For sure. Well, hopefully, like I said, hopefully he can figure it out and maybe play a tune-up game against the White Sox because they're already in mid-season form. I already smashed the under on them, which is saying a lot because I think the over-under like 5 wins for them. I don't know what it actually is, but they're going to be bad.
They're one of 2 teams that have a 0% chance of making the playoffs.
It's mind-boggling how bad they are. I'm at loss for words, literally. But the White Sox will be brought up another time. But next thing, fantasy baseball. I think it'd be a lot of fun for us to put this together and then just week to week just kind of discuss what's going on. And I think it's just a good way for us to hopefully one of us could do well. If we both do bad and we're covering these, it'd be embarrassing. But I think it'd just be fun to do and just kind of showcase what's going on and maybe give some advice for the people since we're not going to have a lot of other content going on. So, for this, I was going to just kind of talk about some of the scoring types, just kind of break down what we're going to look at, sort of the league setup, and then we can just discuss more of it next week before getting a draft and all that setup. So, thinking in the past when you've done this with me, we've usually done head-to-head categories, and I think that's the best way to do it. So then that way, if you're having a bad week in some areas, you could pick it up in other categories.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I like that.
So I think that's a good way to start. I'm going to do salary cap draft. Just kidding. That'd be so wild. If we're going to do it pretty standard, auto pick would be insanely based, but it'll be just a normal snake draft. I've not decided on a draft date. It's asking about that right now. I'll just set it for the 18th or something crazy at 1 a.m. We obviously won't do that, but my point is we got to get people and then we'll figure that out later. So create league. And then I'll go to maybe look at rosters and the categories. I think that's kind of the big two things we want to focus on. And my league logo, randomly, is a pretzel. It just generated a pretzel for me. I don't know why it's doing that, but click commissioner here. It's been a minute since I've navigated through this. So no fan tracks this time. Might do fan tracks down the road. Fan track's not the most user friendly. The one thing I like them about a lot is you could do so much crap with it. It's insane. It's a lot more fun, but it's a lot more complicated. So we're just gonna keep it simple for now. In terms of scoring settings, I think this will be easier to start off. So I try to do 5 and 5. We could do a little bit more than that. But right now they have runs, home runs, RBI, stolen bases, and batting average. First of all, anyone that knows ball, we ain't doing batting average.
No.
That's garbage. I've been doing OBS. Where is it? On base percentage. There we go. Or OBP. I just done OBP, but we could do OB on base plus slugging if we wanted to do that instead.
Yeah.
So we could do that. We could do both there. Any other categories here? Catcher interference. Jeez. Looking at this, so there's games played, games started, at-bats, hits, singles, doubles, triples. I don't think we'll add any of those. Sacrifice hits or sacrifice flies. Doubt we'll add any of that. I think they've got mostly what I'd normally want to cover for now. Walks, maybe. That could be one you might want to consider. I don't know. Intentional walks, hit by pitch. Grounded into double play. Total bases. That's another one I've done.
Yeah.
Total bases is what I've usually done instead of... Some people replace it with home runs. I'm not going to do that. So we'll just add total bases. You have errors. I don't think we'll do anything for fielding for now. Maybe down the road. Hitting for the cycle would be absolutely diabolical. But we're not going to... Maybe for points. That's one that's more fun to do for points. But it's not for categories, if that makes sense. So... I think we got our categories for this year. So, just to summarize them, it's runs, home runs, RBIs, stolen bases, total bases, and on base plus slugging. Were there any other things you think we should add there? Maybe plate appearances or walks? Or is that also good?
I think we're good.
Cool. For pitchers, there is wins. Screw that crap. I might keep wins. But the real ones, though, first things first, I'm adding quality starts.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. Real player, people that know ball, it's all about quality starts.
Mm-hmm.
This ridiculous. You get guys that go 7 innings, allow 1 run, and they lose 1-0. That's utter nonsense. Or a guy comes in for 1/3 of an inning, allows 4 runs, blows the save, but then bottom of the 9th, Corey Seager hits a game-winning home run. That dude gets the win. Utterly ridiculous. So. Yeah. I might keep wins. I don't know yet, though. I usually get rid of it for quality starts.
Yeah, I don't like wins.
I'll dump it for a minute, but we might have to keep it since we added extra category. I like keeping it balanced, so like 5-5, 6 or 6. So there is saves right now. Actually, the other one, is there saves and holds? Might have to do its holds. Oh, saves and holds is 1 total. So I'm just going to do that. I'm not going to do saves and holds separately. So I'll do saves and holds together so that That way, if you don't draft a reliever in the first 2 rounds, you're screwed. Not first 2 rounds, but for those that have done this, or if you get auto drafted and don't have a single closer, you can't do anything about it unless you get a guy in free agency. Now, someone that's a middle relief pitcher that's really good, but it's not going to get saves, is useful now. So I'll combine those. So right now I have saves and holds, quality starts, whip, ERA, and strikeouts. So we need to add one more. I don't know. There's total bases allowed. I've not really messed with that. No hitters, inherited runners scored, blown saves.
Inherited runner scored could be a fun reliever one.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that's hard.
There's just outright outs, shutouts. Wins might be necessary, but I don't know.
It sounds like it with the other categories.
Yeah, we'll do wins for now. Outs is the other one I was contemplating, but that could make things a little broken. So before we do something like that, we'll have to figure out how many guys we want in a lineup or how many ads you want and all that. But so for now, we'll have wins, but it won't be the only one. So wins, strikeouts, ERA, whip, or we could do walks, quality starts, and saves and holds. We have strikeouts. You could also do walks, like a negative category. Would you rather do walks, or should we just stick with wins?
I'd say for now, let's do wins and...
Wins, okay. All right, so we got our categories, so I'll save those. The only other thing we really need to talk about for this right now is how many positional players do we want, and then we could kind of discuss out the rest of the stuff later. So right now, the standard is 1 catcher, 1 first baseman, 2nd baseman, 3rd baseman, shortstop, 3 outfielders, and 2 utilities. They have 2 starters, 2 relievers, and 4 pitchers, and then we'll discuss the miscellaneous in a bit. I usually like having a traditional rotation, so you have 5 starters, but I guess if they have that many just normal pitchers, you could do whatever we want. The other debate would be, do we really want... Yeah, we could keep the catcher for 2nd, 3rd, short. I think that's all good. 3 outfielders makes sense. So having a traditional just infield works.
Yeah.
Do you want should we do an extra utility, or is 2 fine? I think that seems relatively... Yeah. I think what they have there is perfect.
Yeah, I think it's good.
It's really pitchers. I don't know. 2 starters is weird to me. But again, it could be flexed out to all pitchers. So I don't know.
I was going to say, you have 2 relievers, and then is there 4 more pitchers after that, or is it just 4 pitchers in total?
It's 4 more pitchers overall. So you have to have 2 relievers and 2 starters.
Gotcha. I feel like that's good because there's not that many top quality starters in the league right now that will get you a bunch of quality starts. Okay. So maybe having the chance to have a bunch of relievers could be helpful instead of mandating starters.
That makes sense.
If you want to do starters, you can do starters, but you only get them once every 5 games.
Or we can do just outright... Wait, how many pitchers is this? 2, 4... What if we just do 10 pitchers? Don't mandate him to be a starter or reliever.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that.
We'll just do that. You could just have 10 pitchers, the max. And whatever you do with that is up to you. So we'll stick with that. IL, I'm doing 10. Don't care. That might seem like a lot, but you know what? I'll keep it at 5 for now. I'll keep it at 5. But the monstrosity of injuries I've dealt with every single year in this stupid fantasy.
Yeah.
I've had it before where I've used all 10 and still had guys needing to be put on IL.
That's crazy.
But for now, to avoid people just stashing guys, aka me, we'll keep it at 5. Bench, they had 5. I think that seems relatively reasonable.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
And then NA, you can stash prospects and allow up to 3. So you can stash 3 prospects you want.
That's fair.
So we'll submit those. And so yeah, so that'll be that for now. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 other things we'll look at, but going a little over time, but that's okay. So we'll discuss more next week. What more of the details will look like that, draft date, any other things we need to edit. So, but yeah, 2 other things. If you have the time, I say screw it. We do one more Immaculate Grid, but we'd be quick. And then the other thing, because it's been bothering me. I don't want to end on that. I don't want to end on that. The other thing was I'd really quickly discuss my experience with the ASU game. So I'll talk about that really quick. We're going to skip the NBA thing for now. We'll talk about that next week or another time. But really quickly, Quentin Grimes dropped 44. Nico, you're going to get fired. Get ready to learn McDonald's, buddy. But my experience at ASU, it's pretty good. I got pulled over for not using a blinker. So that was a great start. Unbelievable. So that was ridiculous. I got a warning though, and the cop was really nice. So not off to a great start. But yeah, I've now been pulled over speeding. Not bad. Blowing off a yield sign and now a blinker. 2 of the 3 times I've been pulled over for utterly stupid things. But I at least acknowledge the blinker was technically my fault. I apparently didn't do it, so whatever. But that's kind of how the trip started. But driving it, beyond that, the drive is pretty smooth. Sorry, Corpus Christi. Your town is just crap. Nothing but factories. What are you, my hometown, but for Texas? Like, bro, your town smelt worse than my hometown, and that says a lot. Because we have a nuclear power plant here, and it smells nasty. But, yeah, pretty bland overall. But it was a nice baseball stadium. A shout out to A&M Corpus Christi. You got a nice field, and there's a minor league semi-professional team there as well. I forgot their name, so I think they're like the Rooks.
The Hooks.
Hooks, sorry.
Hooks, yeah.
Hooks, sorry. So shout out to them, letting us use the field. So really nice field, good setup. I got a nice view of they were building a bridge in the background, which is kind of nice. So it looked nicer-ish. And halfway through the game, when ASU's bullpen was blowing it, there was a cargo ship moving in the background. So I decided to watch that instead of ASU blowing it. But overall, it was a great experience. ASU was putting up a heck of a fight. They were down 3-1, and then DJ had hit that 2-run homer to tie the game, and then we took the lead in that inning before ultimately our bullpen decided, nah, bro, we're gonna lose 7 runs. And at that point, I decided to switch to the other side, where with all 4 other Illinois fans. Just had to do it because, I was wearing my Illinois jacket, but ASU visor. I wore a visor. I didn't wear a beanie because it was like 80 degrees. But it was chilly. It was warm, but it wasn't. It's kind of weird. But yeah, it was really cool. Getting to see my team I rooted for growing up play my alma mater. ASU, for whatever dumb reason, every year in baseball plays a Big Ten team. Don't know why. Like, we'll play Big 12. And we'll play like Texas and all that and get clobbered. Except Baylor, we own you. Had to get that in there. But we won't like play Pac-12. We won't play like ACC. But Big Ten, we played Michigan State twice. We played Nebraska a couple years ago. We played friggin' Illinois now. It's just like, bro, what's the deal with the Big Ten teams? But it was really cool.
They're coming down to warmer weather.
Yeah.
And a bucket game.
I'll say I don't understand why that wasn't a home game for us. If they're gonna come to our home state, just credit us with the home game. Just didn't make sense. But yeah, shout out to Illinois. I think what was the final score? 11-6, I think. Already forgot the score. I was distracted by the cargo vote. But yeah, ACU, they played a heck of a game. They loaded the bases 3 times and scored 1 run in those situations. Brutal, but they were getting on base. Illinois, your pitching greatly concerns me. Loading that many runners to ACU. And Illinois, you won the series, but we still own you rent-free because we won a game. And we were leading all 3, actually. We were up 1-0 in game 3. And lost 6-2 because ACU bullpen moment. So overall great experience, minus the stupid bullpen being the bullpen. So it was a great time. And shout out again, pulled over again sucked, but the cop was nice. My first 2 cops were major bummers. That dude was really cool. So don't tell my parents that, guys. So unless they might have heard me. So we'll see. But, all right, we're ending this with an Immaculate Grid. I can't end knowing that we said Carlos Beltran, and he was right there for the Royals. To your credit, you didn't know, that he played for the Royals, it sounds like, but I did, and I just totally blanked on it. So I can't, it's just unacceptable. I can't end on that. But we're going to try to go a little bit quicker. We're not going to try to take, give me another random number here.
674.
674. Please, Cubs or Rangers?
God, please, someone that we know.
Freaking.
God.
Maybe we should just find one that has, like, at least a team at... I'm gonna do a different one. Because 40
I wouldn't be able to do that.
I think I could, but it's gonna take too long. Gosh. Padres, maybe the Red Sox. I might be able to do this. But if you don't think you can, let's find one with the Rangers. I'm going to find the first one with the Rangers in it, and we'll just do that. Cubs. Really quickly, I'm going to flex my knowledge here. Daryl Ward. You're going to think, who in the world... Actually, I don't remember how you spell it. I think it's this way. 0.1%, baby!
That's crazy.
Flexing my knowledge. Daryl Ward out here. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's my rant. I'm not going to do that one, though. We're gonna find one with the Rangers. I would love to find a Rangers.
And played catcher Josh Donaldson.
Are you serious? Did he actually play catcher?
He did.
That's crazy. That's insane, man. If we could get Rangers Cubs, maybe next week I can try to find us one. What the heck? That one doesn't have a single team in it. Wow, Immaculate Grid does not like the Rangers. Cubs, I probably could do that, ironically, but I'm not gonna, again.
Goodness gracious.
How, the disrespect to the Rangers, by the way. That was basically the one we were just looking at. Jeez. It's an all-red theme except the White Sox. We got the Marlins before GTA 6. Oh, did you say you think you could do that?
No, I said I wish you could, like, search.
There might be a way, and I'm just being a boomer.
I don't see anything on the screen, so...
There we go!
There we go.
Of course the Padres are on this.
Hey, it's good.
You got it. I think you'll be locked in. I might not be as helpful, but that'll be okay.
Texas Rangers, only one team, Michael Young.
You're going to rock with... You want to try to get a little bit harder?
Yeah. Let's wait on that one.
I was going to say, Michael Young, I mean, yeah. I wish the Tigers were right here. I would say Prince Fielder, bro.
That's fair. I mean,
I'd say Prince Fielder.
Jurickson Profar is another Ranger, San Diego, like we mentioned earlier.
Could do Profar.
Josh Hamilton is an Angel Ranger one.
That'd be an easy one, but we might just have to. We could do, well, what about Darvish for Padres? Or do you think Profar probably be lower?
I think Profar would be lower.
We'll do Profar. Again. 11%. Okay.
I think that would be lower than Darvish.
Low enough.
Okay. Do you remember the Boston starter with the last name Lackey?
John Lackey, dude.
Did he play for the Rangers and the Angels?
I don't know if he played for the Rangers.
No, he played for the Angels. I can't remember if he ever played.
I don't know if he played for the Rangers. I wouldn't risk that. I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either. For the Angels,
he played for Boston and LA.
For the Angels in third base, it's Anthony Rent. Actually, I hurt my hamstring. I can't finish.
Oh my God. I want to try to. I kind of want to do either Sean Figgins or Howie Kendrick. I don't know if either one played third base though.
I think Taylor Ward did, but I'm not 100% sure, so I can't even tell you that one.
What about Padres third base?
I mean, the easy one's Machado. Who's for? I don't think.
Did David Eckstein? I don't even know if Eckstein played for the Padres. I'm dropping like 2005 names on you. You're like, bro,
Yeah,
what are you talking
I
about?
can't, I can't think of anyone other than Machado, but I know there's others, obviously.
We could just do Machado. It's fine. What? Well, it just has to be one game. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Would
I'm
any
trying to.
active
Do you know
did Tatis
Cronenworth?
ever do it?
Cronenworth.
Oh, Cronenworth. Okay, we could do Cronin.
He is the definition of a. If he didn't play third, I will be okay. I was
There
gonna
we
say,
go.
I would be shocked if he didn't play.
Padres. Who's the relief pitcher that tilted his cap and did
Fernando
the
Rodney.
Rodney? Thank you. I don't think he played for the Padres though.
Ooh, I think he did.
You think he did? I know he played for the Tigers.
I think
I'm.
I think he did. For some reason, I'm picturing him in the camo unis that they used to wear.
I'll try it.
If it doesn't work, I'm gonna cry. Yep.
Yes, sir. He's another name that's been tossed around like crazy. Tampa Bay, Seattle,
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
He may have even played in with another another California team, maybe the Angels. But
Does a Detroit only one team actually exist?
I'm sure somewhere we could Tariq Skubal.
Well, yeah,
I think
but
boring.
I'm thinking like older than that.
Miggy, I'm kidding. I know he played for the Marlins. Joke's on you, people that
I was
thought I
saying most
didn't know
people I
that.
don't think remember that.
I do. I remember from MVP Baseball 2004.
Yeah.
Magglio Ordonez played for the White Sox. Yeah, I'm just thinking, I'm going crazy with these 05 names.
I was gonna say Brad Osmus, but he also played for Astros. So,
Brad Osmus would have been a crazy pull. That would have been sick.
but I know he
Ooh.
played for the Astros.
Wait, did Torrey Hunter play for the Tigers?
No, he played for multiple teams. Oh, gotcha. I think he did.
He was the guy that ran into the wall, right?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Against
I
the Red
think that's
Sox?
where he started. No,
No, he started in Minnesota.
I think he went
I know
Minnesota,
that.
then Detroit.
I thought he was Anaheim, then Detroit.
And
'Cause he 22%.
Yeah.
Dang it.
That's higher than I thought it was.
But to be honest, he was one of my favorite players all time. I love Torrey Hunter. In part because my cousins are from Minnesota, so I watched a lot of Twins baseball back then, so I kind of know ball about them for a dumb
Oh.
reason.
It probably won't be right. There's an Angel Ranger that I can think of. It's Brock Burke, but I don't think he's actually played a regular season game with the Angels yet.
Oh yeah, we'll wait on. Probably shouldn't do that then.
No.
Detroit Gloss played third base for the. I'm really trying to pull a.
Yeah, I don't.
I think David Freese played third base. I'm fairly confident.
He had to at some point. Well, I mean, he played third base.
I'm gonna look
I
up
don't
though
think-
after this if either Sean Figgins or Howie Kendrick did. I don't think Kendrick did. He
I
was
don't
second
think
base.
so. Yeah.
I think Sean was also second, maybe short, but I thought Figgins was a bit more of utility.
Ooh. The Rangers Angels, Alex Claudio.
Claudio,
Mm-hmm.
certified ball knower. Yes, sir.
He's a lefty, like, submarine thrower.
That was our lowest one yet.
Yep.
0.07. That makes me kind of mad. Daryl Ward was 0.1 and this is 0.07. Daryl Ward was a bum. Except with the Cubs. He actually like had a nearly 1 WAR in 33 games with the Cubs. So
Do you remember David Murphy?
yeah, I thought he played with like the Rockies or
Okay. That was my question.
I don't know if it was the Rockies specifically, but he played somewhere else. Or Nationals. It might have been Nationals.
Gotcha.
I know he played with more than one team.
I was trying to pull something out of my bag.
That would have been sick.
Moreland
True
played for...
is not one, but that would be sick too.
Moreland also was not one. He went somewhere else after us.
Would the clerk count? And he's gone now.
I don't think so.
Hang on. Must have played for one major league franchise. I don't know. I'm not gonna risk that. We could just do Michael Young and just move on, or just do an active player like Jonah Heim hasn't played elsewhere, has he?
Yeah, he has.
Oh, he has.
Oakland.
Huh. I did not know that. Leader.
Or Tavares.
Tavares probably. Oh, let's go Tavares.
I don't think Tavares has played anywhere else.
Liotti, right?
What year does it say to start?
2020.
Yeah, he hasn't played for anyone else then.
All right, that's pretty good. Tigers one team. That one's a bit harder.
No, I don't. Nico Goodrum. But I don't think so.
I don't think so, but I don't know Nico Goodrum as well, so
I don't think it is. Played third
one
base.
team
Only one.
third base.
I mean David Wright.
David Wright's probably the safe play, and for sake of time, I'll just do it. 5%? You know what? I thought it was gonna be a lot higher, dude.
I did too.
In our bag, I guess. Tigers one team. I like Screwballs right there.
You could also do Parker Meadows. He's the center
That's true.
fielder.
What's true?
Or who else?
Who's their first baseman?
Torkelson.
It was Torkelson. Probably do Torkelson.
Who's their catcher?
Torkelson.
Oh, what's his name?
Is it Mays?
No. Mize? M-I-Z-E? Is that who you're talking about? The pitcher?
No, I thought there was a catcher named Mays.
Rogers. I think his last name is Rogers.
Rogers. There's gonna be a lot of Rogers.
Yeah, there's gonna be
there's a Ranger. But I know he wasn't only a Ranger, I'm pretty sure. I think he threw your last no-hitter.
Yeah, no, don't worry about Rogers. There's too many. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah. Screwball would be the highest.
Yeah. Torkelson would also probably be a high one. Who's their current? Baez is not. Who's their third
Definitely
baseman? No. Who's their second? No. Or you could honestly, did Mize? Oh. Job?
Job? Chamberlain? He was
Jackson
Yankees.
Job?
Oh, Jackson Job.
He played last year with them.
Cook. Lock in, Daniel. 54 rarity score. Even better than our first one. I feel much better about that one. Certified ball knower Daniel out here. We're going to look really quickly and then log off for Anthony Rendon's. Mike Schmidt was the most common for. Wyatt Langford's the highest for Rangers. That's
Yeah, it's because
crazy.
he's, I think, one of the only current.
Gary Sheffield for the Padres?
Didn't realize he played for the Padres.
Interesting.
I'm not surprised.
Darvish would have been the highest, so I'm glad we didn't do
I'm
Darvish.
surprised. Oh, I forgot about Nolan Ryan playing for the Angels.
Torrey Hunter was the highest for the Tigers, unfortunately. But that's okay.
Interesting.
But I want to see, am I certified ball knower and saying hi to Kendrick or Sean Figgins? I don't think either one of them were. Sean Figgins is on there. Pujols? They were both
third?
on there. They were both on there. Frick.
We would have had a better score. That's unfortunate.
Troy Gloss, too. I literally even said Troy Gloss.
Yep, he did.
Frick.
I didn't realize he also played third with them.
I figured he did. I'm surprised about Kendrick. I'm not surprised about Figgins. Figgins moved around.
Yeah,
But I thought
is the one.
Kendrick, he didn't move around a lot.
Yeah.
But, all right. Well, we will be definitely doing one of those because those are a lot of fun.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun.
Not so much NHL, though, because
I wouldn't know.
I get grilled.
Prior than
We will do one from time to time with those, though. But I think it'll be more fun to do a lot more of those. So, but any final thoughts before we log out?
Nope, I got nothing.
All right. Well, we will see you all next week.